All right, so we're sitting here in the bowels of the Little Mill Clubhouse, here with Troy Vannucci. Troy, you and I go kind of way back. I mean, I think ever since you were in the area, we've known each other.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we basically kind of grew up at Little Mill, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking it. Like what? I think the summer of 2009 was when you came up here. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that does sound about right. Yeah, 9, 10, yeah, definitely, yeah.
So you came up from Memphis, right?
Correct, yep, grew up in Memphis, born in Texas, but only spent like 2 years, so I call Memphis home.
Right. And you're going to be doing most of the talking, so I'll kick us off here.
Yeah,
I want to see if my recollection of what happened is accurate. So Tommy comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, I got my nephew Troy coming up. He's never really played golf. He's just starting to get into the game. Would you guys be nice to him? You know, kind of take him under your wing, let him play with you, etc." And we started playing with you, and man, Troy, you were bad. I mean, you were really bad. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I want listeners to see how your journey's amazing, honestly, because
Yeah, I mean, I remember coming to Little Mill and if you know Little Mill, the bottom range, you have a lake there, and then the ninth hole is on the right. My uncle Tom brought me down to the range. We had to go up to the grass range because I kept on hitting balls over. I had a massive slice. Kept on hitting balls over into the fairway. People were trying to play. I couldn't keep it on the range.
It was dangerous to have you down there at the bottom end.
Yeah.
It's funny. That was back when I was a ball picker here. And I would be the one in the ninth hole with the shag bag picking up all your flares.
Fairways everywhere. Oh, it was bad.
But you were that, because my memory of you is when we first started playing, I remember your game being like this. You were okay off the tee, and from 100 in, you were just an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I remember you sculling shot. It was you had to be on the lookout when we played. I mean.
Yeah, it was, so I played golf on the high school team and stuff like that, but I never had a home that I could actually just practice and beat balls and stuff like that. I was playing the other sports, baseball, soccer, basketball, you name it, I was playing it. And golf, I just kind of picked up late. And yeah, it was bad. I mean, I never thought I would even be able to just play Little Mill. Yeah, it was because it was so tight, and you try to cut your teeth at Little Mill, it's impossible.
Such a hard place to learn. If you can get through that initial phase here like you did,
yeah,
it's clearly paid dividends for you, how your career has progressed. Yeah, I mean, looking back, I think, so the first summer you came back in 2009, we said you struggled, but I feel like less than 2 years later you won the junior club championship and shot even par or something. And I remember all of us just being wow, this is crazy. We've been playing golf our whole lives, and we're decent golfers, 1-2 handicaps, and you went from the laughing stock, Tommy's nephew who stunk, to just beating all of us, and we're okay, this kid's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think that summer, so I would just go into the range, and we had a slew of good guys. I mean, you had Chris Gold. I mean, I'm sure people recognize his name. Mike Mosenthal, our head pro now. Ryan McCarty. I would just see these guys. I remember Chris Gold would be on the far right end of the range, and I would always be so shy. I would go, hit balls right next to him, but I would make sure I give him enough space, and I would just, watch and just, be in awe, just try to do everything he would do and just pound balls. And I really got motivated that summer and just really just dedicated everything all in. So I think that was the summer that really just needed to really grind and get over that hurdle, because it was bad. I mean, I would go out with 12 balls and not be able to finish 18.
It was getting expensive for Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
He's what did I get myself into bringing this kid up here for the summer?
Yeah, I was grabbing all the shag balls. It was bad, really bad.
Oh man! So flash forward now. What are you? +4-ish, right? I haven't checked your handicap.
Three, I think 3. Yeah, when I go down to Florida, it usually goes around. I think Florida golf is hard, so I definitely don't play as well down in Florida. So it probably goes to a +1 down there. Then when I come back up here, probably around +2, +3.
I'm the same way. I struggle in Florida golf. The chipping down there is a little difficult, and just the visuals are tough. I mean, I don't like the house line courses, and the hazards don't really do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on Bermuda, so it's not the Bermuda so much. I'm only down there in the winter, so I'm basically down there end of December to like late March, and that's their windy season. So it's always windy. You got the water everywhere, so and
you get a lot of crosswinds there too. Yes. They don't have like the back and forth like we have here a lot of the times, where you get like downwind into the wind. I feel like there you just get all types of crazy winds going.
And the ball doesn't fly. You're at sea level. I mean, it just does not want to move.
Right.
You gotta almost, because I like to play a straight ball or cut up here. Down there, I see myself just hitting like hooks almost.
Low draws, just keeping it under. Yeah, you can't throw that cut up into that at all. All right, so you show up that summer, you're like a 15 or 20 handicap.
Yeah.
You progress down to like, say, a 0 in like 2 or 3 years, say. And then you just keep getting better. Was there ever a point where you were just thinking like, maybe I could become a pro? Like maybe I'll just keep like, because you're getting better so fast, right? Like most guys, it happens over a long period of time, and you're just like rapidly shaving shots, and you get to a +3, a +4, where you're thinking maybe I can push this to a +6 or +7 and do something with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think every kid growing up wants to be a pro of some sort. I mean, those years I was just trying to compete, come in the top 5, come in the top 10 or something like that, and just club events, not even like qualifiers or anything like that, the Gap or the Jersey. I remember one year I played in probably 9 qualifiers, missed all of them, and I made my last one or something like that at the Patterson Cup. I was like super pumped. I was
finally got
through. I mean, it was like I would miss them by a few shots, but it was like now you have nothing to look forward to. You only have the junior events, stuff like that, and it was bad there for a while. But yeah, it's starting to come around a little bit.
You're speaking to a guy that understands that all too well. I've missed a lot of qualifiers in my day, so if I can get in like a couple a year, I'm happy. Because like you said, it stinks when you miss out. And it's like, I've been on the beach so many times, sitting on the beach following your scores. It's like, that's not fun. Like, I want to be out there, you know? It's like the summer comes and it's...
Yeah, I know the feeling. I remember being at Little Mill just chipping balls, hitting the refresh button like, oh, man, I could be there right now, but not there.
So with all that being said, so you're a +3, +4 now. Do you think you've plateaued? Do you still think you can get better, or do you think you've stabilized a bit?
I mean, it's tough to say. I definitely think some parts of my game have gotten a little bit better over the years. If I really wanted to deep dive, I would have to track every shot to really see, but I'm not that. Like, I don't want to spend 40 minutes after my round plugging in scores. Like, I'm not at, like, decade or something like that, plugging it all in, seeing where you're losing, gaining. I think the experience, I'm at the level now where I think I've been in enough pressure situations where I've been there, I've seen it all, and it's just basically, you know what to expect kind of deal.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, in order to do that, like you're saying, track every shot, it kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit. Like, we're amateur golfers, right? We're not. If there was money behind it, if you're trying to really, you would have to do that kind of stuff, and that's work.
Yeah.
But from an amateur standpoint, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know,
like
it's just
like if I play a bad round, like how fitting slammers. Like, I'm getting in the car, going home, and going back to work the next day. I don't feel like sitting there plugging in 40 minutes of Mr. Green left, double chip, three putt here.
Yeah, there's not many guys, I think, at our age and from an amateur standpoint that are doing those kind of things. All right, so let's talk about what's ahead. This is a big week or two stretch for you.
Yeah, no, so this is Sunday. I'm leaving Tuesday morning for the US floorball down in Kiwa, and really looking forward to it. Been talking to my partner, Jack. He's down in Naples. He didn't come up. He wanted to stay down there and prep a little bit. He's been sending some scores. We've been talking a little bit. He's playing good. I feel like my game's in a good spot, so just go out there and see what happens and play our games.
You said Jack, not Vince, right? What happened to Vinny Boy?
That's a great story. I guess we can.
I guess I'll set the table real quick. I mean, you guys, for the listeners who don't know, you guys, was it 2019?
2019.
2019. Yeah. So I guess maybe touch on that. I'll let you touch on it. I mean, what you guys?
So it's weird how they do the qualifying. So you qualify the year prior in the fall, and then the event is usually like in end of May, mid-May, kind of. So you have a couple months there where you're just waiting dead period. So we qualified 2018. It was actually a funny story then because we were like the second group off, and we were right on the number. And I remember that was like the longest 6 hours hitting refresh. So we finally got in clean, no playoff.
Where was that? Do you remember?
Greenbrook, I believe, in like North
Oh,
Jersey
yeah.
or.
I've played there before. West Caldwell.
Yes.
Low scores there. It's a birdie fest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we waited that out. That was like nerve-wracking. 6 hours just hitting refresh, and there's nothing you can do.
Right.
We can't go home. We can't do nothing.
It's harder to gauge that with better balls too. Like singles, you can kind of tell. Like, this guy's not going to birdie his last 4 holes most likely. But better ball, you never know. With two good players, like anything can really happen.
Yeah, and you're sitting there hitting refresh, and then a team 4 under through 9. Oh man, catch a little heater, and next thing you know, we're out. Maybe a playoff. So anyway, we qualify, go out to Bandon. This is both of our first USGA events. So we have no clue what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And Bandon it's crazy. It's a different. You don't get that kind of golf around here.
Right.
It's link style, balls bouncing forever. It's crazy. We ended up playing well. I think we were tri-medalists. I forget maybe at 13 under or something like that. I think we ended up getting the 3rd seed or something like that. Make a pretty good run. Semifinals, got bounced by Scott Harvey and Todd Mitchell. So that was fun. It was tiring, but it was a lot of fun.
So, I mean, obviously Harvey's a legend. I mean, were you a little like, I mean, you had to be nervous, I would think, for that match.
So the funny thing is, I was more nervous the match prior because I knew the exemption category. It was if you made the semifinals, made it to the semifinals, you got a 1-year exemption, and that next year was at cricket.
Oh, right. So you really wanted to.
Yeah, so I really wanted to make it to cricket, and our quarterfinals match was Matt Parzarelli and Herbie Atkins. And I knew that was the year Matt won the Mid-Am.
Right.
The year prior.
And he played in the Masters and a couple U.S. Opens as well. So
Definitely.
he was really sharp at the time.
Yeah, and Vince, he didn't know those guys from Adam.
Yeah.
Like, I knew them. I knew what they have done and everything like that. And getting through that match, I think, was huge. Because now you're a little bit, you're in a semifinals. Everything's good. You got your 1-year exemption, and we were just a little bit off, and those guys didn't give us anything. I mean, you're gonna have to make birdies against those guys. Par's not gonna get it done. We just didn't. We kind of slapped it. I mean, those guys, they weren't gonna give anything.
No, not in a better ball. You're lucky if they make 1 bogey.
Exactly. I don't think they did.
Probably didn't make any, but even on a bad day, they might make 1 or 2. Worst case. Yeah,
I mean, every time we think we would, we would hit it in there close, they make a 15-footer, we would miss a close one.
Right,
it's like,
right.
Two great guys couldn't, lost to 2 better guys. They were good.
So, you guys have all that success. Why Jack Irons now, I guess, is the question.
Well, that's the $1 million question, I guess. Let's see here. So, they changed their exemption. So we actually got a 2-year exemption. So COVID got lost, and then that next year was at Chambers. We go to Chambers in, I guess, 2021. Didn't play well. Didn't play the par 5s well. Just didn't make anything. You're at the mercy of the bounce at Chambers.
Right.
That place is great views, but man, it's a bit wacky. I mean. But we just didn't play the par fives well, and I think we ended up missing by 2, maybe 3. So that stung a little bit, but we knew we had next year. So, yeah, I guess this is where it all, the breakup really happens. So that year, we go sign up. We sign up. Everything's good. So that fall, going into the new year of 2022, around like January or something, Vince texts me, "Hey, I'm not doing the U.S. floorball. I'm done." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I don't care to do it. I'm not motivated," and all this other stuff. Like, oh, wow. Like, where did this, like, I'm hit with a ton of bricks. Like, this is totally blindsided, out of nowhere. And then a couple weeks go by. Yeah, I'm back in. Yeah, I'm motivated. Yeah, let's go. Let's win this. So he's flip-floppy for about 3 months. So let's fast forward to about a week out. A week out, we're going to leave on like a Wednesday. I text him on like that Thursday of the week prior. And I'm like, "Hey, you need a travel bag," and all this other stuff. And he goes, "Dude, I told you I'm not playing. Like, I'm out." But I have text saying, "Yeah, I'm in. I booked flights, everything." So, fast forward to that Monday, there's a Philly Pub Links event on a Monday. And we're going to fly out that, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. And he's like pounding me like, "Yo, I'm not doing this, all this other stuff." And I'm like, give me a reason why. He never gave me a reason why. He's like, dude, just quit talking to me. I'm not going. So I'm like, obviously I'm texting him all the time. Like, give me an answer. Like, I need to know why. I've already booked these flights, everything. So funny thing is, I play in a Philly Pub Links on a Monday to get some reps in. Mm-hmm. It's a better ball. He actually plays behind me. So we're playing at Turtle Creek. He dodges me all day. We finish our 18. He's playing behind me. We never cross paths. Mm-hmm. So I wait for him on the back of the green at Turtle Creek, and I'm like, "Yo, Vince, come talk to me like a man. Like, let's settle this. Like, what's your rationale? Like, what's going on? Like, Is there something wrong? Or like, tell me." Basically, all I got out of it, golf is not my number one priority, and I told you I'm not playing. So, done.
Wow.
Don't get to play in the USGA 4-ball. And we lose our exemption. Yeah, I could have went and played as an individual, but I'm not going to go down there.
You're going to waste your time. It's a waste of time. Not
yeah,
trying to,
no, it's like you can't. It's hard. It's hard with 2 people, and then I'm going to go down there, waste all this time, and miss work, and
it's not fun either to play by yourself.
No, it was something I would never do. And then I'm taking a spot from 2 guys that, what if they never played one, and then they get in or something like that. So
no, you did the right thing.
It was a gut punch.
That's crazy. So he bails on you like basically last second. Just and you have everything booked. You're ready to go. Man, I guess just like any other relationship, relationships never end well. I guess it's like golf partnerships aren't immune to it.
Yeah, I mean, there were some words exchanged at the back of the green. The guys on the patio, I'm sure, got a kick out of everything. Had no clue what was going on, but even the guys in the group were like looking at us like,
what the hell's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? But no, that's behind us, and it is what it is. Life goes on. I've got a new partner, Jack Irons, and I've definitely upgraded.
Nice. I love that answer. Do you know Kiowa at all?
0. I know it's a beautiful area. The guys here took a trip, I want to say maybe late fall of last year. They were raving about it. No, nothing. I've been to a little north Charleston a bunch. Mm-hmm. I know that area pretty well. So, no, this is all foreign.
I like Charleston.
I'm looking forward to it.
Spot. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you leave this Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
When does it start?
So the stroke play qualifying is Saturday, Sunday. I'm driving all day Tuesday.
Oh, they do have it on a weekend. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely be following that. That's sweet. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm just doing the math here. The Mid-Am, which you won last year, is Monday, right?
Correct. So what I'm doing, I've already requested the last time at Old York on Monday.
I did see that.
It was by design. Hopefully, I don't have a chance to defend, and I have a tee time at Kiwa on Monday, playing a match play. But the plan is, if I don't make match play, I'm gonna hit the road that night, drive halfway, and then drive the rest Monday morning, and try to come back and defend. I love Old York.
That would be awesome. That would be a great story. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, if you don't make it, at least you have something fun to come back to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and if you've ever played Old York Road, it is so much fun. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun.
So I was going to ask you that. I did qualify. I've never played the course, and I called them for a practice round, and they said no practice rounds.
Really?
Which I thought, like, look, I'm not trying to, I don't want to,
Ouch.
but
yeah.
I thought that was kind of lame, honestly. Like, if you're going to host a Gap Major, I get if it's Pine Valley, where, like, if they have a Gap Major at Pine Valley, everybody's going to take a practice round, even if you've played there, because you get an extra round at Pine Valley. Why wouldn't you, right? But Old York Road, like, the only people going to take practice rounds are probably people who haven't played it.
Yeah.
You think they would be able to be like, hey, come out on Sunday at 5 o'clock and you can take a card out or something, right? Or whatever.
Oh, man, that's
that's rough. So I'm playing it blind. Yeah, it's tough. Amateur golf's tough, man. It's like.
Yeah.
But so I'm playing it blind. So I wanted to ask you what, like, any high level some stuff out there. What's the vibe? What's, like, I know nothing about it, so.
So I've been fortunate enough to play in the Old York Road Invitational, which is by far one of the better invitationals in the Gap region, I would say. It's a party. Brian Marvin does an incredible job. The whole staff, really. It's great. So the course, it's a shorter course.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of right in front of you. There's probably like 3 holes that you need to know, that dog leg and stuff like that, but they're short, so you can kind of see where not to go and stuff like that. I would almost say it's a second shot golf course, but you can't. There's so many like short holes that you can hit like 5 different clubs on.
Okay.
So that's where it's tough. It's like, do I want to push it? Do I want to lay back? You just really got to pick your spots.
Well, that's fun. It gives you shot options. I always love that.
Oh, it's only 2 par 5s. One is pretty reachable. The other one you gotta hug the left side and stuff like that. But nothing's really gonna come up and scare you. It's all on the greens.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on the greens. It's usually rock hard and firm. I would say number 11 or number 10. You have a creek coming across. You got to watch out for that. Either lay up short, bomb it over. Number 11, sharp dog leg. And then, like, number 12 is just, like, a great hole. It's like, it's probably 300 to the front. You land at 270, you're right there. Or you just dump it out with a 4-iron and wedge. Like, there's so many options.
I love courses like that because it gives you the option where you're like, you turn it 3 over or something, and you're like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna start just banging driver around." Or it gives you the chance to kind of plot your way around.
Yeah, even on the first hole, it's like you can drive it and get down there pretty close, or you can hit iron and lay way back. Or, I mean, there's so much stuff you can do. It just right out the gate, it just kind of sets the tone.
It sounds fun. I'm looking forward to that because. I also played last year at Jericho, which we'll talk about what you won at, and I enjoyed Jericho. Obviously, you I'm sure had a great time out there.
Yeah.
Going into Jericho, did you think that was a course? So it sounds to me like Old York. You can compete out there. It sounds like a course that's really good for your game. You seem excited about it if you make it out. When you played a practice round at Jericho, or if you've played there going into the event, did you think that you had a real shot at winning this? Like, this course is good for me and I feel good about this, or?
I feel like I get a little bit of a head start on the guys up here because I'm fortunate enough to spend my winters down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come back, like, into March, I'm, like, ready to go. I played some invitationals down in Florida and stuff like that. So I'm fresh. I got some experience under my belt, some reps, some rounds, and I'm ready to go. Like, I've been pounding balls, so I feel like I have an early head start these first couple months.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good going into it. I think the timing just didn't work out to go over there to get a practice round. I just basically looking at it on my phone, overview and stuff like that, and just trying to fill it out the first day, and just was really playing well. I felt like I had total control of the ball. Like, you don't get that feeling too often where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and that's what happens. Like, that week or those 2 days, I felt like I could put it here, put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just total control, which doesn't happen often.
I get it for like 6 holes at a time, so I do know the feeling, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's certainly not for 36, and that's
Yeah.
what separates a 1 from a +4. But so many times you've been around the lead or going into the second day, either in the lead or say top 5 or within the hunt. At Jericho, going into that second day, did you feel like a different sense of calmness because your game was so sharp, or like? I guess discuss your nerve level versus some of the other times you were, trying to close an event off or trying to, get that elusive victory.
Yeah, it's like tough. It's always, you never know what to expect because you always think, oh, I can go out and shoot this, but it's never as low as you think it needs to be. Like everyone's like, oh, if I go out there and shoot 2 under, this will get it done, but. No, you never know. The good thing was it was a bit breezy. In Florida in the winter, it's always breezy. So I felt like that played, into my advantage a little bit just because I'm so used to playing in the wind. And, I didn't even think I really had a shot to win. I looked at the leaderboard with like 3 or 4 holes to go. And I was like 2 or 3 back, and I was like, I don't know. Let's just finish strong because you got a par 5 on I think it was 17.
17, yeah.
And it's reachable, so you never know what can happen. So I was like, let's just try to finish this off strong and give myself some looks. And actually got up and down from behind the green on 17 and made birdie. And then 18, just really in between clubs and just kind of just hit the middle of the green. But yeah, it was unfortunate what happened to Sean on, I think it was 15 or something like that. He made double, and he actually was just off the green or something like that. Yeah, it was.
I saw the video of that. That hole's tough.
Yeah, it was like cut in a weird spot because a putt, if you were above it, it just kept on running away. Mm-hmm. But it didn't look like it was like that severe downhill, but it just kept on going.
I blasted it by there. I made double.
Yeah.
I did the same thing he did. It made me feel a little bit better watching him. But, it's almost like you were due, because that's what happens with wins. Sometimes you play really good and you just get edged out, and it gets really frustrating because someone one-ups you. But it seems like this time you almost kind of backdoored it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I that's what I feel like. I felt fortunate to even be in a playoff. Like, I didn't finish like I really wanted to, but and then I got a little help, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, once the playoff came, I was like, dude, this is my time.
This is it.
I've been around the lead. Like, come on, let's just
time to get it done.
Yeah,
Enough's enough, right?
Get it in the clubhouse. Yeah.
Did you feel a little bit of a weight lifted off your shoulders after getting that first major?
Oh, 100%. I feel like I've been in the lead. Not the lead, but like around the lead in all the majors, even New Jersey stuff and stuff like that.
Oakmont you almost won at, right? The PA Open at Oakmont, which is a huge event and a huge venue.
I felt like that experience kind of helped down that stretch. And then he said it even in the interview, Sean. He's like super nervous. You could kind of tell he's a little fidgety. And that first swing on the playoff, it was real quick.
Quick left.
Yeah, he plays a big draw, and it was left and going left real quick. But no, he's super nice guy. We've become friendly after. So
he kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really know much about him. I haven't seen him in the events much, and a lot of times when you see guys the first round post a low number like that, you're like, I have his over under at like 79.5 for the next day. You're like, he's just gonna shoot 1 million, and he didn't. I was like, this guy, you've seen that over the years, especially in the mid-am. A lot of guys come out with that
100%.
low. They go out in the morning, they have a real low round. Next year they don't tee off until like noon the next day, and they're
thinking
like,
about it all day.
they go and shoot 45 on the front nine. You know, like it's tough. I mean,
you even see it on the PGA Tour. These guys do it for a living. Like, all right, this guy hasn't won, this guy hasn't won, and then you got a guy like 4 or 5 back that has all the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you got Rom like 5 back, and you got a guy that's never won, and he's won off the lead, you're almost giving the favor to Rom.
Yeah, you know,
just because you know it's bound to happen.
It's tough to close, man. You got to put yourself in the position a lot of the times, like you said, and you certainly did that, and we're prepared that day. So it's funny, we had complete opposite days that day. You were like the last tee time off, and I was the first tee time off in the morning. I actually slept in my car the night before.
No way.
I slept on top of. I have a tent on top of my car, and I finished. I finished late in the afternoon. I made the cut right on the number. So like I said, first tee time out, and I'm like, do I drive an hour and 45 minutes back to the shore, and then come an hour and 45 back? Wake up at 4. I'm like, if I'm going to show up tomorrow, I'm just going to stay here. So I got a case of beer. I was just tailgating at my car for like 2 hours. Had a couple beers.
No way.
Mess around with my basketball, just like, talking to people. Set up my tent. And
that's like a mini tour. That's like a pipe dream.
It was cold that night, though.
I was going to say,
freezing.
it's like early.
And I didn't have a sleeping bag. My buddy lent me this thin blanket, and I was like, I was legitimately shivering, but I slept okay.
Jeez.
But dude, there's no better feeling than waking up to the mowers.
That's true.
I didn't even set my alarm. I was right behind the putting green, like 5 o'clock here, and I was like, "This is awesome." I'm like, "This is."
That's
if that doesn't get you excited, if that doesn't get you excited and dead last on the cut, then what does?
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So it was fun though. We had fun in our own ways that day. So with those two things, what was a better feat? Would you say was it the 4-ball making it to the semis, or was it winning the Philly Mid-Am?
That's it's tough because you got a partner in the 4-ball, so you got a little help behind you. I almost feel like winning the Gap Mid-Am just because I've been so close in all these events and then finally getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that one holds a little bit more weight because in the better ball or the 4-ball, you got someone behind. You make a bogey, so what? All right, he's going to clean up for par, birdie, or whatever. So you almost have a safety net.
Mm-hmm.
In the Mid-Am, it's just you.
That makes sense. Plus, this is your home. I mean, these are all the guys you see and compete against, and
so you're used to seeing all the familiar faces and stuff like that. It's who you got to beat and stuff like that. Definitely getting that monkey off my back, I think, was a lot bigger than the run at Bandon.
No, that makes sense. I thought you were going to say that, but I didn't know USGA, playing guys like Scott Harvey, that's a cool experience too. So, moving through last year, you go to the Philly Am, you're the medalist there.
Yeah.
You get knocked out by Mike Brown.
Yeah, I had him too.
I saw you were like 2 up with what, like right?
7 to go or something, and I think he had like 3. He made 3 birdies out of like the last 7 or something like that. I mean, he's a tough out. I mean, everyone around here knows Brownie. I know Brownie. Close friends with him. I was talking to him today. I mean, he didn't give me nothing, and I had him right where I needed him. And then what do you know? He just always finds a way to win. I mean, talk about a guy that has all the experience and been there, done that. I mean, yeah. I mean, hats off to him. I mean, that was incredible. I mean, at his age and beating all these kids, like, they were calling me old. And, yeah, it was like I felt old. Like, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, he is a true legend.
It seems like he has the game and also the heart and the grit he has the whole package. Like,
he just finds a way. I mean, it doesn't matter if he's slapping it. He's going to make that putt. He's going to hit that shot. I mean, you just got to expect it. You're going to have to make birdies to beat him. You're not going to just trying to find him trying to make a bogey somewhere or something like that. It's not going to happen.
You basically just play the course against him because it's like if you watch him play all day, you'll get discouraged because it's like he's draining putts and it's those guys are tough to play against.
Yeah.
So you're the medalist at the Philly Am, which puts you in the lead for the Silver Cross, which is a respected title to hold.
Oh, definitely. And I knew where I stood. I mean, I watch all this stuff. I'm a big golf nerd. So I look at leaderboards, every association, even down in Florida. I got buddies down in Florida. I know what's going on in any region basically around here. I know everything. Yeah. It was a tough one.
We don't have to get into St. David's. You just had a bad round, I'm sure. It wasn't a good day.
But it leads up. So I had my U.S. Mid-Am that Monday.
Okay.
So I'm playing in my U.S. Mid-Am qualifier on a Monday. I think the Patterson is that Wednesday at St. Davis. So I'm up in New York on a Monday. I'm 4 under with 3 to go. And clear lock, just get it in the house.
Yeah.
So I'm up at Whippoorwill or something like that, that was the course name, Whippoorwill or something like that. So 3 holes to go, I'm playing, on number 16, it's a dogleg left up the hill. It's like a 3-iron, 5-iron. It's like 235 and then 200 up the hill, or mountain.
Yeah.
So hit it down the middle of the fairway. I push it a little right. It's like I got 170, probably playing about 200. It's like really severe uphill. Aimed at the middle of the green, push it a little right, get up there, thinking I'm right side of the green. I get there, and it's a cliff.
Oh.
There's nothing. There's like no rut. There's just a cliff, and you can't see.
It's not a hazard. It's not marked.
Not marked,
Oh.
and you can't see anything, and you can't even see the pin. You can just look at the pin sheet and kind of just like guess.
Yeah, guess where it is. Yeah.
Get up there, can't find it. Go back, make a dub.
Oh.
So
Good double actually. If you had to walk back and then you got to make your par on your second, that's probably like you're probably now like okay, like I just got to play even coming in, right?
Yeah, I was playing good, so I really wasn't worried. I just squeaked it a little right. I thought I was right side of the green. The guys in the group said good shot. So get up there, can't find it. Anyway, go to 17 and it's like 230 downhill. Like it's probably playing 215. I hit it over the green, get it up and down, make a good like 5-6 footer for par. And then 18, the hole's probably like 390, a little elevated up the hill, and there's this dinky little tree on the left. So I have this shot under the gun. It's like this little low fade that just runs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's good under pressure. It's not going left. It's going to go low. It's going to chase and just go right. I pull it. It hits this dinky little tree. I mean, this tree is probably, I want to say 20 yards high or something. I don't even know. It's like dinky. And it's very bare. It looks like a cherry tree or something like that.
Yeah.
And I pull it, and it hits it hits like a twig.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to go through it because it was cutting back towards the middle of the fairway. Hits it, goes straight down. And I'm like in a mobile, and I got like 180 uphill. This thing is like way above my feet. This thing is going to come ripping hard left. So I'm aimed 30 yards right of the green. I pull it. It started at the middle of the green and then hit left side of the green and just rocket left of the green. So I'm getting up there, and the green's elevated. So I walk to the where I think my ball is, and it's all OB.
Oh my God!
Dude,
I was hoping you didn't say this because I'm getting like anxiety.
Yeah,
like,
it was,
this is a nightmare, like an absolute nightmare.
When I saw the white, and I was like, oh, there's high grass over here. It didn't kick that hard. And then we ended up finding my ball. It was like way out of bounds, and I'm like, oh no, did this really just happen?
This is just like literally a nightmare.
Yes. So I go back, hit the middle of the green, gave it a nice putt. Just didn't even. I wouldn't even say it came close. I probably missed by like 2 balls firm.
Mm-hmm.
Get in, and 1 under is a playoff, and here I am. 4 under, dub, par, dub, even, get in my car. I didn't even have to stick around. It was already, it was bad.
Game, set, match. Yeah.
Game, set, match. I was, in disbelief for, 2 days. I didn't sleep.
Well, so, I'm not, and this is no bullshit. I saw you at the Patterson Cup. We ran into each other really quick.
Yeah.
You looked tired. You looked flustered. And I had this weird feeling. I'm like, something's wrong with Troy.
Yeah.
Because usually you and I will run into each other and we'll talk for like, at least, you were just like, hey, and you were just very like, you almost were like sweaty. You just looked like disheveled. And I was like, I don't think that's going to be a good day for Troy for some reason.
So it wasn't a good 48 hours.
Yeah.
So that night, I mean, you drive home, you're pissed. You're just thinking, oh, this, that. I mean, so I get home, can't sleep. Can't sleep, can't eat. So
game.
It beats you up. I mean, you're talking about some low points. This is like really low. So I don't sleep. Go to work the next day. Around noontime, the guys asked me like, "Yo, you all right? You good? You sick? What's wrong?" And I told them the situation. They are like, "Oh, gotcha, yeah." Then the next day goes by, and I'm like, that night. So it's like Tuesday night. I still can't sleep. I can't eat. I probably dozed off 2 or 3 times for like 30 minutes. I'm just like thinking, oh my God, did I really just do this? So I go to the Patterson Cup. I'm trying to like motivate myself as I'm driving to the course. I'm like, all right, new day. You played well in the AM. Let's prove to yourself that you can still do this. And got to the course, and like you said, like I just wasn't right. I mean, I was slapping it around, but I was getting it in. I think I made the turn around 1 over or something like that. Nothing crazy. And then I get on that, 10, 11, 12. Hole 12.
Yeah.
The dogleg left.
Tough hole, yeah.
Tough hole.
Tougher hole, yeah.
I just try to hit a draw like 3-wood, snap it. OB.
You went out of bounds there. Wow.
It was, and I know you can't go left.
No.
I don't like the hole, and it's just, and then I think I 3-putted the next hole or something like that, and then it was just like downhill from there.
You had your push cart too. I saw you look miserable out there.
Yeah, no, it was bad, and I was just like, it was hard to get that out of my head. Like I tried to like pump myself up, motivate there was nothing I could do. I was just like, I just blew it.
You were mourning. You were in a period of mourning.
Yeah, it was like I lost a relative or something. It was crazy. It's bad.
So and the only thing that it's like time heals with golf. That's the only thing. Like sometimes like people are like, oh, get back on the horse, which sometimes it works.
Yeah.
And other times you're like, I just need a week off. I need to decompress and.
That's what I was saying. It was like I just need not to even think about golf for a bit. Luckily, I had a little bit of time period, like a little break there after the Patterson, just to like decompress, just like all right. But then I finished the season off pretty well after that. But yeah, that was a bummer, and it being right there, Silver Cross and everything. I knew it was at stake, and just not to get it done. And
I was going to ask you, do you think that? I mean, in your situation, now that you explained it to me, you weren't ready to play anyway, really, it sounds like. So, but say you shot like 74 and missed it by 1 shot. Would you have been pretty pissed off that you don't have a chance to come back the next day? Because you could be, theoretically, you could have shot 74 and been like 3rd in the Silver Cross or something. I haven't done the math, but like you would have been right there to win the Silver Cross, but you don't even get a chance to come back because you don't make a cut at the Patterson Cup. Man, that's a weird situation.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I mean, if I would have missed that by 1 and then the mid-am by 1 in like a span of 3 days, I don't know. I mean, jeez, that I don't even want to think about it. It's like tough. Like it brings you to your knees sometimes. But like my uncle always says, there's always another event. You just stay motivated, keep pounding it. It's like there's always something better.
Well, that's why we are so blessed as golfers, because I always just feel so much for the teams like in sports that like we're that close and they have to wait a whole nother year to even maybe have a chance at that moment again. Whereas we have that moment, we're like, all right, I have like 3 tournaments next week.
Exactly.
It's such a cool sport in that sense.
Yeah, like if you look at the Olympics or something like that.
Oh,
if these guys miss by like a tenth of a second, they have to wait like 2 years, 4 years. I mean, you never know. Even if you're going to even get back into the Olympics,
exactly.
It's tough.
Yeah, we picked a good sport as competitors to like not fall in deep states of depression because we don't have time for it. It's like we got another tournament to come up.
Get on the horse and get
right back on it. So we talked about the 4-ball. We talked about maybe the mid-am, the Jersey mid-am. I saw you're not in the field. What's going on there?
Yeah, I'm a little bitter about it, but I guess they do a limited field for the Mid-Am. They have a weird exemption category, so like the winner of the 2022 Gap Mid-Am gets exempt into the 2022 New Jersey Mid-Am because they play the Gap Mid-Am prior. But which I don't understand. Like, what if I were to go qualify for the Jersey Mid-Am, miss it, go play in the Philly Mid-Am, win it? Now, do I get a chance to play? Even though I even tried to qualify, missed the qualifying, to win the Gap, do they allow you in? Like, it's
That's
all
such
weird.
a good point. Yeah, that's a gray area. Yeah.
So, actually, I got an email from Brad a couple weeks ago because I just signed up. I figured I was exempt from prior tournaments, the Mid-Am, the Am, all of them.
Well, I was gonna say, so the last couple years, you were the runner-up 2 years ago at Matita.
Yeah.
You lost in the finals.
Yep.
Last year, you lost in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
This is the Jersey. You win the Gap Mid-Am last year.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can I not play in this tournament? I'm clearly one of the best players in the area. What's going on?
It gets a little bit better. I don't want to talk about myself, but I am a little upset because I finished 8th in the Am.
Mm-hmm.
I finished 11th in the Jersey Open, 4th low Am. And I finished 11th in Player of the Year points, and they want me to go qualify. And I was like, sorry, I'm not playing this year. It's tough. I mean, I get it. They have all these rules. They've had them for years, and yeah, it's tough. I mean, it sucks to miss it, but I'm just not gonna go take off a day to go try to qualify if I am exempt for something else that I can just go sign up and play. Yeah,
No,
it sucks. I want to play in it, but. Look here, good golf takes care of itself. Go out and play better. I mean, I guess.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I guess, but I mean, I think in your situation, you have a legit gripe here. I mean, I think Jersey needs to get with the times a little bit. I mean, and like you're saying, these are rules, we get it, but maybe revisit these a bit and maybe allow a decision where it's not a full field anyway, the Mid-Am.
I know.
So
Why not make it full field? The Mid-Ams don't get a lot of chances to actually play in events. Why not make it a full field? And I mean, you're closing the course all day anyway. What's an extra 50 people gonna do?
Right.
But hey, that's that, and it is what it is. I mean, it's tough scene.
Well, we have a couple issues too. Like a couple of the guys in South Jersey that do play in the stuff. There's not many of us. That's the thing. I mean, it's 95% of the people that play in Jersey events are North Jersey guys, but. We drive up an hour and a half, and they got the rounds are 5-hour rounds or 4.5-hour rounds. We're out there walking.
Walking.
Yeah, and it's like why are we walking in these things, man? Like we're all working guys. Like we want to just take carts and go play in 3 hours and 50 minutes and go home. I don't know. There's just a few things there. It's just I wish they would revisit a bit, but.
Yeah, definitely the exemption criteria. It's tough. I mean, if you look at them for the Open and the Am, it's. Basically, if you don't win anything or come top 5 player of the year, you're signing up for a qualifier.
And also qualifiers, obviously, I'm a fan of the carts. The tournaments, I love the walking, right? You got to walk in the actual events, but
that's good.
They don't let you take. You have to take a caddy. You can't carry your own bag, which that's another interesting one to me. It's like why can't a player carry his own bag if he wants to carry his own bag? I mean, they're basically making you either drag a friend up there, or if you, in your case, the Jersey Am is a 4-round event.
Yeah,
you're paying a guy like $600 for the week to caddy for you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like $1,000 event between hotel and caddy, and it's crazy.
It adds up. I don't even want to think about the prices.
Don't do the math.
Just swipe the
play.
card. Just play. And
it's like me with my gambling. It's like you don't want to see the numbers.
Yeah. It is scary. People ask me all the time, what do you think you spend on golf? Like my cousin all the time, how much you spend on golf? I don't know. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Yeah. I need it. If I don't have it, I'll lose my mind. So I don't really care what I spend.
It's my therapy.
On it. Exactly. I could be spending my money on a lot worse things. Matita has a Corn Ferry Tour event this year. I don't know if you knew that. It's in late summer.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I know you love that place.
Yeah, it is. It's probably in my top 5. I feel at home there.
And I hate the place, to be honest with you. So that's one thing we can disagree on.
Yeah.
But we don't have to get into that. It's probably because you're good and I'm not. But any chance you try a Monday into that?
See, I didn't even know there was a Monday qualifier. It's like, yeah, I know they have them, but now that you think about it, I'm gonna go tonight and probably like look and see where it's at. Do you know where it's at or anything?
I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I know the local circuit better than obviously the pro circuit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they have Mondays for all the Corn Ferry stuff. I thought.
Yeah, if it's not like super ridiculous, like for an AM, if it's not like $800 or something for like one day,
Yeah.
a shootout. I'm actually gonna look at that at dinner tonight. Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because if you got in there, if there's any course that you're gonna like make a cut at, it would be there. Because guys are gonna struggle there. I don't care what anybody says. Like I think the disparity in scores will be high. Like I think there'll be guys that are on their game that week and we'll do really well because they're just unbelievable and will rip any course apart pretty much. But I think the guys that are off their game will struggle quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean those Corn Ferry guys are good, but like they probably look at the courses they play. They probably don't play anything.
Nothing like that.
Like this, they're gonna be staring around 2 irons everywhere. Like I'm actually curious to see what the cut and the final score would be. But no, that does. You got me thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's basically impossible. I mean, these guys rip up every Monday qualifier. Like you almost got to shoot like 8 or something like that. But it all depends on where they have the qualifier and how much. I'm actually thinking about it.
Yeah, and plus it's in Jersey, so you would think that there would be less of those because when they have them all down south, that southern contingent players is just like they. But you wonder how many guys would come up to Jersey for something like that, and if they. I mean, your best case scenario, which they wouldn't, but if they had it at Matita, that'd be your best case.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
Probably would be like 3 or 4 under might get in there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. So like you can certainly do that. But yeah, something to take a look at. All right, so switching gears a little bit, I have some questions for you. Some may seem a little silly, but as a lesser player, I having a good player sit in front of me, I want to ask you a few things. At what point, like if I'm playing with you, right? We're playing in a tournament qualifier or something, right? And I start blowing balls all over the place. At what point do you just say enough of this guy? Like I'm done looking for his balls.
I guess it all depends on like the personality.
Okay.
So if the guy is like legit trying every hole and he's hitting it OB, like I'll give the guy time of day. Like yeah, all right, he's struggling, but hey, he's grinding. Like he's trying his best. He's just trying to get some experience. But if let's just say for instance you got like a little high school kid or college kid out there, you're in his world. And screaming and cussing, slamming clubs, and pumps a few OB. Yeah, it's like
checking out pretty quick on this guy.
Yeah, just let him do his thing. Like, don't try to bring everyone else down in the group. Like, forget this guy. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, no one wants to like play with someone that's like just slapping around, but also bringing everyone else down in the group, like cussing and screaming, slamming clubs. Like, if you're, like, peaceful and you're, like, legit trying all the time in the day. Like, yeah, I hate losing balls, me personally, and don't want to see anyone else lose a ball, but, like, if you're respectful and stuff like that, all day. Yeah.
You're a nicer guy than me, I think. I'm like, if you're in contention, like, relative contention, I'll look. Like, I always will look, but it just depends how, like, sometimes I really look hard for a ball.
Yeah.
Like, I was playing with a kid in Lulu a few days ago, nicest kid, and he was right on the cut line. And I'm like, we're finding this ball, man. Like, I'm like digging around, but guys are like a bunch over and stuff, like, I'll give them a look, but it's not
it's
as,
the courtesy
it's not as intense. It's more
over.
of the figure 8, you kind of like, mull around, like, I'm not going in fescue and trudging around for him.
Yeah,
but,
sorry, pal, this ain't worth the triggers.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I had a guy, so it's a humiliating thing to have people pull the plug on you, though. And I've had it happen to me. I mean, I was a huge sprayer of the golf ball when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I played in a couple things, and this one group gave up on me on like the 5th hole. I'm like, guys, I'm like 4 over. Like, like I hit a ball like way left and couldn't find it. Nobody came over and helped. I'm like, man, this is like, I was like ready to cry. Like,
yeah, once you're on that island and like you pump it and it's close to the OB and they're just walking to their ball, there's no worse feeling. It's like, oh man, all right, I know where I stand here.
Yeah, exactly. You guys made it really clear where we are. This is going to be a long 14 holes. When you were a lesser player, did people ever pull the plug on you?
I remember playing in like junior events. I would shoot a billion. Like, I had no business playing in these events, and kids would be up by the green putting.
And you're still
and I'm over
around.
banging, clanking trees, just like trying to advance it. And nah, there were some humbling times.
Oh man, that's funny. Do you have any golfing nightmares?
Oh my god. I mean,
minus the one that you actually lived out at the Mid-Am. I mean, do you have any ones that are?
Yeah, I got a good story. So,
when I say nightmares, I mean like dreams.
Oh.
Like, do you have like that dream where you like? Mine was always I couldn't get off the first tee. You know, like it's like I would get to the tee and for whatever reason I could there was something behind me I couldn't like swing the club like.
No, I don't.
Nothing like that.
No, sometimes I get a little PTSD about the Mid-Am, but other than that, I guess the one nightmare I had, it was, I want to say 2018 at the New Jersey Mid-Am, actually.
Okay.
So I have a 8 o'clock tee time up in North Jersey. I leave the house at like 5, and I get up there, 8 o'clock tee time. I'm on the range around like 7:15. I go pull a 9-iron out of my bag, and I had a new guy at the club regrip my clubs the night before.
Oh, that's a rookie move, dude.
I usually always regrip my clubs. I don't let anyone touch my clubs. So I was like, he knows what he's done. And let him regrip it. I pull out the 9-iron. Everything's fine. I hit a shot, and the grip's twisty.
Oh.
I'm like, all right, no big deal. It's just one club. Yeah, it messed up. It's no biggie. I pull out the 8-iron, twisty. I'm like, no way. And it goes all the way through the set. Luckily, it was only the irons.
Okay. Well, luckily, I mean, how are you going to play with like,
so it's
you just hitting like sawed-off shots all day or what? Like,
no. So it was probably like 7:20, 7:30. I'm teeing off at 8. So I go down to my truck and I pull out, I have my old backup set. There's no way I can use Reynolds or anything like that. Luckily, it was just the irons. I had my wedges, I had the woods and everything, putter, all that. So it was just the irons. Ended up playing. I actually got through, luckily, and but man, that was like panic mode. And like even on the first tee, I'm just like thinking like, geez, I haven't played with these clubs in like 2 or 3 years. These are just like sitting here collecting dust. And I had changed my lies and lofts prior, and I'm just like, oh man, all right, let's just try to figure this out. Luckily, everything worked out.
Well, the cool thing about that is it almost takes the expectations like completely out.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of going in like you have that kind of that built-in like, well, if I don't play well, I mean, you know.
Yeah, like you almost have a excuse or something like that. What
was this? This was the Open qualifier?
No, this was the actual Jersey Mid-Am.
Like, so you got into the match play. So
no, it wasn't match play. It was because you qualified to get into match play.
That's what I'm saying. You qualified to get into match play. So
I did. Yeah, with
the backup clubs, and then you ripped the grips off that night. And
yeah.
Did you give that kid some shit? I mean, come on, you had to.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I gave him a little bit, but he's a good buddy of mine now, so
okay.
We still talk about it sometimes.
Okay. That's funny. Yeah, so I guess I just have so much built up scar tissue, and that's why I have these dreams I have like once a month where like, yeah, so I figured a better player doesn't have these dreams, but
yeah.
I gotta go to a therapist. That's for another day. So I played at the U.S. Open qualifier at Rolling Green last week, and I really got exposed out there.
That place, it will expose anyone.
Dude.
Like, if you don't have ball control, like, you got to be able to control spin. Like,
so that's exactly what exposed me.
Yeah.
I made 2 doubles and a triple, and I'm hitting the greens. Like, I think they're good shots, and that's the thing. And I'm like, a lot of people who, a more immature golfer, when I was a more immature golfer, I'd be like, those are good shots. It's like, they're not good shots. Just because you hit the center of the face and you think, like, you're not controlling your spin, you're not controlling your distance. And I really had, like, a real, like, moment where I looked at myself and was like, I really need to get better. Like, I see, like, it was, I knew I needed to get better, but I really saw the difference. Like, when I was watching other guys come up and, they're hitting their, 7-irons and they're one-hopping and stopping, and I'm, like, slinging some shots in and doing some goofy stuff. So I got a lesson the next day. But anyway, leading into this, have you ever played a course where you were like, wow, like, a component of my game really needs to get better? Like, I didn't realize this because I play Little Mill every day, or because I play,
I guess there's like 2 courses that come to mind right away. Love them both. Philly Cricket. Whist. I cannot play that course. It is, all the bunkers are in my landing zone. Mm-hmm. It's like, I almost feel I would play better if I played just with a 3-wood.
Right.
So I played the Open last year, and I played with Chris Ault and Scott McNeil. It was comical to watch them play. I mean, here I am flying it into these bunkers, dead, wedge out.
Chipping out, yeah.
They're flying it, and they're hitting it in the rough occasionally and stuff, but they got like a flyer lie pitching wedge. Here I am trying to like hit a skyrocket 7-iron, just like try to get out, and I'm just like, oh my, it's that course. I love it. I mean, it's hard to have a bad day at cricket, but I just can't play that course, and it's just 'cause off the tee. You
don't carry the ball far enough because you're a lower ball hitter.
Yeah, I'm low and chasey, and I hit it in those fairway bunkers more, and then you're dead. I mean, you hit it those. It's hard. I mean, it's hard from the middle of the fairway, more or less. The
fairway bunkers they're at least a half shot penalty, and sometimes a full shot if you end up in the lip.
Yeah, and there's this other course I play in the Azalea Country Club at Charleston. Flat as a pancake, got some funky stuff on the greens. I drive it pretty well there, and I've never even made the cut at the Azalea. I shoot like my best round there is like a 71 or something, and I think I've hit almost
hit the ball great.
Like 80% of the fairways. It's just I can't play it, and it's.
Is it just the greens or?
I just get on like it's just stupid bogeys, like 3 or 4 bogeys, and next thing you know, and not enough birdies, and there you go. You're signing for a 74, 75 every time. Just can't crack it. Do
any of these make you like reshape your game, or you just chalk it up to like, hey, it's just not a good course for me?
I've always said it's like different courses for horses, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's like you would think. Actually, Country Club at Charleston kind of like fits my game. It's like rock hard. But just can't crack it, and I don't take too much into it. It is what it is. But I love cricket. I mean, even though I never play well there, it's tough to have a bad day.
Yeah, I like that place too. Like you said, it's hard not to like it. Are you a believer in group energy?
100%. Yeah, if everyone's having a good time, making birdies, like you don't want that one guy just bringing the group down on his phone or not engaged or something like that. I'm big, huge morale guy. Yeah.
So if you have you think it does have an effect on your score if you play with some guys that are just not fun, they're not playing well, they're just you think over time it does hurt?
Yeah, I mean you play with enough guys, or like guys that kind of like check out, and you just team up with the other guy in the group, and you're just like, yeah,
you're right.
All right, this guy's just having a tough day. He's like, he wanted to get off the course, but hey, we're gonna enjoy ourselves. Yeah, so I think you just play with enough people that you can kind of gauge it after like the 3 or 4 holes. Even when, like, I like it when a guy's not playing well, but he's like cheering for you. I had 2 guys in the local U.S. Open locals last week. They were a little off their game. Great guys, R.J. Warren and Ryan Tall.
Okay. Yeah.
They were a little bit off their. No, not Ryan. Man, I forget his name. Drexel kid. forget his name, but super supportive. Like, they were gonna miss easily, and they were cheering me on. I ended up missing by one, but they were cheering me on. They didn't bring me down. They hit a bad shot. It's all good.
What happened? I saw you bogey. Were they just like squirrely bogeys or?
I blame my cousin. He came out on 16. Was putting on 16.
I saw Mike. I was out there and I saw Mike come out.
Yeah, he came out. I call him the Jinx now. I mean, unbelievable. Just like, why would you
He comes, swanning out there, right, wobbling, flailing his arms around.
Yeah. So he comes out on 16. I make a good par. That was a tough hole. It was playing like 215 crosswind. Make a good 2-putt there. Bomb it on 17. One of my best drives all day. I got 83 yards.
So that's an easy hole. There's not many easy holes out there. That's a pretty easy golf hole.
And I was hitting my wedges good, tight all day. And I get into like a little crevice. I mean, we all have bad breaks and stuff like that. I'm not trying to say this is the reason why, but it was gnarly. It was like a crevice going the opposite way. So if I'm going towards the hole, the crevice is going left or right. And I was like, just try to get it somewhere near the green, not short-sided in the front. Don't try to do anything stupid. I get it a little right of the green, kind of short-sided, didn't hit a great chip, ended up making bogey. But like I always say, like, you give Jordan Spieth that lie or Dustin or something, they're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way to get it up and down. Slapping it, did not get it up and down. And then on 18, hit a good drive, went through the fairway I'm in the rough like 2 yards. Missed a fairway by 2 or 3 yards, and I have an overhanging tree.
Bad hole, bad golf hole.
Yeah,
it's a bad golf hole. I mean, it's a bad course.
Right.
It's a bad golf hole.
You go right, you're jailed.
Yeah, you have to punch out backwards, basically. Yeah.
So hit a good shot, or good tee shot that I thought. And I have like 165 or something like that, and the wind's whipping right to left. I'm out of the rough. I have a good lie. I've hit this shot a million times. Thought I hit a good shot, got like 20 yards from the green, and the wind just ate it. Left bunker. Hit the bunker shot, 6 feet, missed it. But I missed, I think 2 years ago there by one. I think the last 4 or 5 years, I missed by one, U.S. locals. It's tough. You want to talk about nightmares?
There you go, another one. Yeah,
it's tough. I mean,
it's funny because your finishes you're describing sound like some of my heartbreaking finishes, except mine are to like miss the Philly M qualifier or miss the qualifier. It's always like, I missed it by one. I missed a million qualifiers by one, but. It's just funny how we can all relate to the different levels of golf. And there's guys who have these stories who missed the Monday qualifier 3 straight weeks by one or something. And they shoot 66 and it was 65.
Yeah, so look at, like, you guys were talking with Chris Crawford last week, and he finishes Eagle Birdie.
Yeah.
Like, boom, there it is. It's tough.
Do you like Village? I got to ask you.
I think it suits my game because I hit it fairly straight, and it's a bunch of wedges, and it's kind of, you have to play there a couple times to know. Like, if someone goes there blind, they're like, what the hell? But,
So the one guy I ran into when I was there, I was talking to him. He flew in from Georgia the night before.
Oh, he's toast.
Never saw the place. It shot 71. Isn't that amazing?
Wow, that's impressive.
He said he's like a +5 or something. Like, he was a pro, and he said he's, whatever. He was on the, I think the Latino tour or something.
Okay.
But they obviously a good player. But I told him, like, wow, you don't realize how good that is out here. Because those greens are they're ridiculous.
It was actually good that it had rained so much all the prior days, because the Village plays good when it's soft. Because those greens, they're just a lot going on. It's tough. When it's rock hard and firm, it's hang on. And
you have to be short or else you're not going to get up and down when they're firm. Every green's
100%.
Potato chip greens, everything's on the sides built up. Like, everything was just going to hit and run 10 feet, 15 feet past the hole.
Yep, 100%.
Doesn't matter how soft you land it.
I know this is probably a couple of years, I want to say back in the day, I guess, like probably 20 years ago. The old head pro there had a running bet back in the day. anyone that breaks par from the tips all the way back, 10,000.
Old Sunny Gyms, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sunny
I don't think it
yeah.
never happened.
Yeah, no one ever broke it. Guys were flying in, and the story was like most people wouldn't even break 80. Well, the crazy thing is, that course supposedly, when they did this back in, I think it was the 60s maybe,
Yeah.
it was even like 200 or 300 yards longer, and the traps were supposedly even like worse. And so think about old golf. I mean, it would be like equivalent to like an 8,000 yard course, but it was just impossible.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, I don't like that place, but once again, it's probably partly because I'm not good enough to play it. What's your practice routine like? Like, do you really grind, or do you just kind of like? Do you try to maximize your time? Are you a guy that's like, hey, I'll just take a half hour and kind of, or do you really like sit there and we'll spend a half a day working on stuff?
Like, if I have just like free time or something, I'm a range rat. I love to practice. It doesn't matter if it's short game, putting, hitting balls. I'll grind. I'll hit a whole bucket of balls. I mean, bin of balls. I mean, it doesn't matter how many. I'll just sit there and pound.
Do you work with anybody? Are you working on anything currently, or?
I wouldn't say I work with anyone. My uncle bought me one of the best, or got me one of the best Christmas gifts ever. 2 years ago, got me 3 lessons with Claude Harmon. Anytime I can use them whenever. They never expire. So I went down to him 2 years ago now, and really changed my game. It was really eye opening. Is he more of a? Is he like a data, like statistical point guy with TrackMan, or is he more of like an old school? I feel like he's a little bit of both. So when I got there, it was down in Florida at the Floridian. I get there, introduced, and he's like, all right, hit 3 drives. I hit 3 drives. He's like, all right, come to the studio. I go to the studio. He's like, all right, hit 2 5-irons. I hit 2 5-irons, and he takes a video, and then he talks for like 20 minutes. And I think I probably took about 17 swings in that hour. I mean, I waited till I was playing well. So I was like, all right, I'm playing good. I'm going to go down and see what I really need to work on. And I left there like thinking maybe I should go buy a racket. I mean, it was humbling, but it helped me so much. Like, I had a good season that next year following after that. It was eye-opening, but it was good. And then I work with a little bit of Nick D'Antino, probably 2 times a year or something like that, because I like to play a cut. He teaches more of a draw, so when that cut becomes a slice and I can't get it coming more from the inside, I'll come to him, quick eye and stuff like that. And he's always on the range.
Little tune-up. Everyone has that
just a
tune-up
little
guy.
tune-up, but I'm more of go out there, hit balls.
Feel it. Yeah, work on
it.
trajectories and work on... Yeah, that makes sense.
Less the better for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Is there anyone that you always play good with or bad with? Like, you have that guy that, like... it's a small sample size, but I have guys that, like, I'll play with 3 times and I play really well and they think you're so much better than you are. Yeah. And you have the other guy that you play with twice and you play like shit and they think you're just like a total chopper. Do you ever have that happen?
I guess I don't run in or don't get paired up with the same people a bunch in the Gap or the Jersey or Pierre or whatever. At home here at Little Mill, yeah, I definitely, it's like, I'm playing with so-and-so, this is going to be something. But, yeah, and also there's a bunch of guys that I do like to play with, and we usually have a pretty good time.
Have you ever lost a piece of your game right before a tournament?
So, I want to say 2 years ago, I played with 2 drivers almost all year.
Really?
I was completely lost. I had my baby. Basically, I loved it, and it cracked. And once it cracked, I tried everything. It had like hot melt in it. I don't know if you know what hot melt and stuff, but it was like, you can't replace it. It's never going to be the same again. Mm-hmm. And once I cracked that.
What was the driver?
It was a Epic Flash Sub-Zero.
Okay.
And cracked it. They sent me multiple heads. I could not get it back to like where it was.
Just didn't feel the same for some reason.
No, and I remember playing. I think it was the PA where the John Holdout from
John Peters. Yeah.
He holed out. I played with 2 drivers there. I took out a 3-wood and played with 2 drivers. I played probably 6 rounds with 2 drivers, just trying to figure out something for the next round.
Talk about a lot of thinking, right? You know it's a driver hole, but you're like, what driver do I hit?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
searching.
a lot. That's a lot.
And that's usually my strength. And I went there probably 6 months, could not find a driver that fit
Like you
me.
just weren't hitting the center of the face, or was it like a directional thing, or?
It was more like this one's spinny, this one I can't get it off the ground, or it's just a multiple things.
Yeah.
It's like
and then it starts becoming a head thing too, because you're just thinking this doesn't feel good in my hands. It doesn't
look
just
right.
spirals out. Yeah, it just spirals out of control.
It was bad there for about 6 months, and then
I remember that period because I remember there was a period where you weren't playing well, and everyone was like, "What happened?" Like. It was like that. I remember the exact period. You were shooting like mid and high 70s. I'm like, what's Troy doing out there?
I could not figure it out. And luckily, there was a guy at the range one night. He had a driver, and he was like, "Oh, look at this new driver." And I picked it up, and I hit it. And I was like, "Oh, my God.
This is it."
This is it. So I hit 2 more drives, and I was like, all right, I'm going to have this driver. And I had that driver, that same exact specs, like 4 days later.
Callaway?
No, it was actually a Titleist TSI 3, 8-degree head, Finta shaft, and I still have it now. Although I did crack my head Friday night, which was a scramble. I mean, talk about a scramble. Leaving Tuesday for the 4-ball, crack a head Friday. Luckily, I know enough people, they got it done.
Got it done. There you go. Yeah, if I crack one, I'm just playing with my driving iron. I don't know enough people.
Yeah, it was tough.
Couple quick hitters here. We haven't come up with a good name for this segment yet, but maybe we'll get there. For now, we won't label it. What do you think was a better feat in GAT? I've argued about this with some people. Jeremy Wall won back-to-back Philly Ams. You played obviously in the Philly Ams.
Yeah.
You know how grueling that is. I think he carried his own bag in both of them too, I believe.
That's just ultimate beast. That's
and Stonewall was one of them, which is not an easy walk.
You gotta be a Billy Goat, yeah.
Billy Goat. So he won the back-to-back Ams, or was it Mike Brown who held? I think it was the Delaware, the Jersey, and the PA all at once.
Yeah, it's or the Gap.
No. I think it was the PA he held at once, and then he won the Gap a year or two later.
Okay, yeah.
So he won all 4 within. But I'm saying at one point he held 3 states AMs at 48 years old or whatever it was, which was just incredible.
I think, it's a loaded question, but you got to give it to Brownie. I mean, you could probably have another guy in the next couple decades go back-to-back, get on a heater or something like that. But to hold all the AMs at that age, in different formats too. Yeah, I know match play is like grueling. It's middle of the summer. Jeremy Wall carrying his bag. I remember watching him. He was playing Jeff, and I was like, this guy's carrying his bag. Like, is it?
It's like everybody in the world would anybody would caddy for him. In the finals, you could probably have 20 people who would caddy for him, for free,
Jack,
right?
I know Jack pretty well. You got Jackie with a carry. No, that's special, but I think you got to edge it to Brownie. He's a stud. That run that he went on, it's incredible. It really is.
I agree. You never want to say never, but it's hard to envision somebody doing that again. Holding 3, anywhere in the country, how hard that is. Even if it was like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Michigan. Like, there's good golfers everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, especially Jersey, PA, and Delaware, which is, golf-rich states. And
he's not, like, just out of college, fresh legs, like...
Just way better than everyone else, and then going to go on tour 2 years later. And, like, no, this guy's, like, an amateur golfer. Yeah. Like, he's the guy. No, I would have to agree with that. But it's always a fun question. It's a fun discussion point. So at Little Mill here, I feel so bad for the guys that have to come out here and play you. I know you're a humble guy, but you just completely dice guys up out here. I mean, the guy yesterday, I know you guys got bumped down to A, which is hard to believe that Little Mill's not going to be an A after the run you guys had. I mean, but I know you were down some guys, but you threw some poor guy in the wood chipper yesterday. I mean, he just. I think he's a listener too. We won't put him on blast, but don't feel too bad, Alex. It happens to all of us out here to Troy. Have you ever lost out here in any gap matches at home?
I'm trying to think. I've only lost one match at Little Mill.
Okay.
Ever. That's club championship, and
Jack beat you, right?
No, he beat me in the finals.
Oh, you're talking about match. I got
actually,
you.
match play, and it was my cousin Michael.
Mikey took you out.
Yeah, and I was young. I was stupid. I was 1 down with 3 to play. I tried to go for it on 7 red, take it over the trees, thinking I needed birdie. Meanwhile, maybe 3 pars gets it done. He nipped me. I actually made him putt like a 2-footer up the hill on 8 that he never lets me let down. Yeah, I was like, maybe a yip it or something like that.
You let him beat you with that swooping draw he was hitting back then?
Oh, it was disgusting. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Mike's a great player, obviously.
Yeah, that's my only recollection, I guess, of a loss in match play.
That's pretty crazy. What's your favorite 9 out here?
White, by far. Not even...
least favorite?
Blue, I would say.
Okay.
Blue.
I thought you would like blue, because blue's tight, and I think I thought blue would play to your advantage more than... Like, if I could think of a 9 that I would have the best chance of beating you on, I would think it would be white, and I would think I would have, 0 chance on blue.
So blue, we call it the executive 9. They've actually added some link to it. It's just not much going on. It's a bunch of drivers and wedges and stuff like that. It just doesn't have much character, I guess you would say. I mean, we got the mountain hole on 8, but that's just like a 9-iron wedge. Yeah, it's fun to go play after you play in the morning group or something like that. An extra 9, you get a couple guys, go out because you're going to make a bunch of birdies, a bunch of wedges. Yeah, I would say by far blue is my least favorite.
Favorite hole?
Favorite hole, maybe 1 white. Just because you can drive it, but you can also lay it up, but it's also a hard wedge shot to get it close. And then if you try to drive it, you got depth left, and if you hit it too good, you can go into the water, and you just got to really fit it down there.
A lot going on there. If the pin's back, if the pin's back, you want to obviously try to get as close to the green as you can.
Yep.
The pin's up, you lay back and try to give yourself a full wedge, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've hit iron. I hit driver every time.
You did driver every time,
yeah. Just go down there and try to find it and just hit if you got a weird chip shot, just try to hit the middle of the green or something.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know how firm they're getting out here these days, but if it's firm to that front pin, it's tough to hold it if you have a weird lie.
It's impossible. It doesn't matter.
It goes right to the back, yeah.
Doesn't matter what you have. If it's a front pin and you got 120, 80, you're not stopping it when it's like this.
Yeah. Least favorite hole?
Least favorite for blue. It is the most basic golf hole out here. It's dead straight. Probably 390 max. Nothing to it. There's a bunker probably like 250 out that never comes into play. I hit driver everywhere out here, so I probably have the highest stroke average on that hole, and it's dead straight.
You get blocked out on the right. If you push it at all right, you can be just in the rough and kind of have nothing.
Yeah,
right?
They took the tree down.
Oh, they did take that tree down. Okay.
But it's still tight over there. Like if you have a right pin and you hit the right first cut, you can't hit the green.
Hypothetical question here. Philly Am finals. I already know who you're going to say. You're going to say Brownie. Who's the last guy you want to face? Maybe outside of Brownie then. And Brown's only getting older. Maybe we'll say in 5 years from now when Brown's like 55 and maybe he finally starts declining a bit. I'm kidding. But
you got Osberg. You can't never overlook him. He just bombs it. Got great hands. If you catch him on a hot putting day, good luck.
I feel like he would struggle out here, though. Not that he could play anywhere. Obviously, he's great, but I'm saying for his game, this place obviously doesn't suit him.
Yeah, I think he came here with, it was Andrew Mason, Chris Alt, and Michael. Him and Mason played Michael and Chris Alt. And it was a hefty hit Alt and Michael took. They took him to the woodshed.
So who won?
Osberg and Mason.
Oh, they crushed.
Yeah,
Wow.
they beat him up pretty big.
I would think Mason would play well here, but
yeah,
it's a good course for him, right? What's your favorite gap course?
Gap course. Let's see. Big Marion fan.
Okay.
I love Marion. I mean, who doesn't love Marion? Just all the ones where you have to plot your way around. Like Aronimink, it doesn't suit my game. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Could play it every day, but this does not suit my game. Somewhere where you have to like plot your way around, just place it.
Shot options. You like shot options.
Like a
not
second
just
shot.
bomb and gouge. Yeah,
bomb and gouge.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
It's
so
tough.
So do you like Lancaster and Lehigh? Have you played those?
Yeah, definitely.
They're fun golf
those
courses.
Are awesome. Let's see. You got Lanark. Lanark's great.
Yeah, Lanark's a fun course.
I haven't been over there since the
Blow
renovations.
out the trees. Me neither. Yeah, it looks like it's good though. What about? I just played Lulu. Lulu's fun, man.
I played it once. I don't remember
it's
much.
It's a fun golf course. I think you would like it.
I know they got some characters over there though.
Oh man, they do. That place is rowdy. Favorite Jersey course, Jersey Association.
Jersey. There's some that I haven't played that I would love to. You got Ball to Straw. Never played Ball to Straw. Hamilton Farm. Never played there. Would love to spend a day there. Play the short course.
Playing there this week in that 4-ball.
Oh, yeah,
Zach,
that's
with your
sweet.
boy
Yeah,
Zach.
nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. It's a good place. It is a good one.
Zach Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it will be fun. So what Jersey? What that you have played? What anything?
Let's see. I mean,
you're out at Somerset last year. How could you not say Somerset?
Somerset's great. It's get a little funky on the greens, but I like that because you have to hit certain areas.
Hit fairways.
You have to hit certain spots of the green. It's not just like, all right, go fire at this pin. You sometimes have to hit it 15
Catch
yards
a
right.
slot. Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Yeah, I mean Pine Valley. You can't go wrong with PB.
No, that's an easy answer. Any course stand out as the best conditions you've ever played?
Best conditioned.
Probably Bandon, right? You're talking about how firm and fast it is. That's got to be up there.
Yeah, so there it's weird. They get it rained actually in one of the stroke play rounds, and they said they wouldn't get rain for another 5 or 6 months.
Holy shit!
Which is wild, and that no wonder it's so firm. It's right there. It's getting all the wind. It's just crazy baked out. Yeah, I think they have it easy there. They just cut everything fairway length, and it's just rock hard.
Mm-hmm.
But condition-wise, it's hard to even. I mean, all the Philly courses. I mean, you go anywhere, and it's perfect all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I don't play much outside of Little Mill, except if it's for an event or something. So I'm always getting, I guess, the best of the best that week. Saucon Valley, I guess. I mean, every time we go there, it's not a blade of grass.
Yeah, Saucon's a nice spot. You're right. There's a lot of well conditioned courses in the area. Best player you've ever played with?
So I play with some mini tour players down in Florida, but they're not the best. They trying to think. I mean, Chris Gotteruth or Brandon Matthews.
Oh, you have played with Chris, yeah.
Yeah, Chris. It's just insane the run he's on. Brandon, I got to play with him in a team championship at Hidden Creek a couple years back. That was special. I would say those two. I mean, I guess Matthews got his tour card. I know he's struggling a bit, but Chris Gotterup is right behind him.
I know both of them are insanely long. Matthews is a little longer than Goddard, would you say, or is it pretty comparable?
So, I would say probably Matthews, but I know Chris. I have a buddy that played for Oklahoma with him, Garrett, and he was talking about he actually gained yards when he went to Oklahoma. So I don't know what his cruising speed is. I bet you I probably got to edge it to Brandon. I mean, he's massive, 6 whatever, and just smashes it. But Chris is, I mean, he can move it.
How much longer are those guys than you?
It's laughable. So I played in the challenge match with Matthews. I remember we're on one par 3, and he's like, "Yeah, I got 8 or 7." And I'm like smashing a 4. It was him and Teasdale. It was so they were like teammates, so they were just setting back, having long drive competitions and stuff. And I'm over here like, yeah, do I slice the 3-wood or hit the hybrid?
Do I slow off this? You're like carving balls around, and these guys
like,
are just launching missiles.
Yeah, like 7-iron, 6-iron. It's like not even different world. But
so how long are you now?
I don't know. It's
like you're like
cruising speed 114.
So you're like a 285 guy.
Yeah. Like
straight 280. I mean, if you obviously if it's firm, you can hit it over 300. But
yeah.
Like a stock hole, no wind, you're 280, 285.
Yeah, 114 I cruise at, I would say.
That's about what I am. So
I can't. So my buddy has a TrackMan. I go over there, and I feel like it's tough to swing a driver indoors. But like I can never get it over like 16 or 17. Never.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Last question: Who do you think the best guy in Jersey is? Like, who's the last guy in Jersey you'd want to play in?
Right now, has to give it to Marcus Stanza. He's on a straight heater.
Stanza, yeah, that's an easy answer. Yeah,
he's a beast. He's tough. I mean, kind of came out of I wouldn't say came out of nowhere. I mean, I just didn't know him like the last 2 or 3 years, but you know him now.
I heard he went through a phase where he had the chipping yips and couldn't really play for a while, and then all of a sudden it's so weird how that.
Yeah, it was a good junior player. I was talking to Kevin Purcell actually from Jersey, and he was like, yeah, he was a really good junior player, and then just kind of went dark there for a while, and now he's top of every leaderboard, like top 10s it, top 5s it. Doesn't matter what event it is.
He almost, he was a match away from the Masters, which would have been really cool.
No, he's a great guy, even off the course and stuff like that. He's tough. He's a tough out.
Anything else you want to talk about?
That's about it, I guess.
That's about it.
What about your game?
I don't know, man. It's getting better slowly, but I don't know. I'm just grateful to get out there. I'm in a good situation now. I'm single. I have a good work situation where I'm able to play in a lot of stuff, and that hasn't always been the case. So I'm kind of just enjoying the ride while it lasts. I don't know how long it's going to last. If I can get in a few things a year and just be out there with you guys and try to compete a little bit, it's fun for me.
Yeah. What's the game plan in the 4-ball with you and Zach? Who hits first?
I hit first. Yeah. Zach,
I didn't know because he hits it pretty straight, I didn't know if you just all right, Zach, you get one out there.
So here's a fun fact, and I'm totally gonna jinx myself. I've probably played in the last, say, 2 years, maybe 45 stroke play events, right?
Yeah.
I haven't hit a single ball out of bounds off the tee in over 2 years. Yeah.
That's impressive.
But I'm gonna jinx myself. I'll probably snipe it out of bounds on the whatever. But it's so we're both kind of straight. He actually hits it consistently solid. I with that being said, I whiffle a lot of balls around.
Yeah.
I'm known as a whiffle ball guy. I can hit balls.
But you're a grinder. You're a grinder.
Yeah, I'll grind it. I'll grind it. But I'll hit 5 drives around that go 250, and it's guys are looking it almost looks like I'm playing with inferior equipment. Guys are kind of looking at his driver what is happening?
What's going on?
I don't want to hit that thing. But no, it's fun, man. It's a good time. I want to keep getting better, and hopefully one day be able to compete a little bit with guys like you. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy the ride, and it's fun talking to you guys. And I'll hopefully see you out at Old York. And if anybody's listening, they're rooting for you to make the 4-ball. Any alternates, right? It's going to open up a spot. So. They'll have the prime time pairing, the last group off, and
Now, hopefully, I don't see Old York, but worst case scenario, I'll be there.
Well, best of luck in the 4-ball. I'm excited to follow that.
Yeah, thanks.
It's cool that you're not with another local guy, and like you said, worst case scenario, we'll see you out there at Old York, and hopefully you can defend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me on, and this has been awesome.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate it. We'll catch up.